Tú quieres ser mi amigo. No puedo estar contigo, porque cuando te di mi pobre corazón, tú lo dejaste ir. Cuando llamaste ayer, la voz de una mujer exigiéndote me hizo comprender que sigue siendo el mismo. Y tú no sabes el dolor que llevo dentro del corazón, porque cuando te quise a ti, tú me dejaste ir. No puedo ser tu amiga, no importa lo que digas, porque cuando te di mi pobre corazón, tú lo dejaste ir. Y tú no sabes el dolor que llevo dentro del corazón, porque cuando te quise a ti, tú me dejaste ir. No puedo ser tu amiga, no importa lo que digas, porque cuando te di mi pobre corazón, tú lo dejaste ir. Qué bueno que te has ido, no eres enemigo, pero recuerda bien que aquel que siempre da, recibirá lo mismo, recibirá lo mismo, recibirá lo mismo. Recibirá lo mismo.
Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome, welcome, welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town,
To feel-good stories and messages of hope.
a few jokes and live calling,
Highlighting local businesses.
discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our Brew Crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From App Media Production Studio, it's
The Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddy, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
All right, now say hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Take two.
Take two. This is my take two version of Monday after the Jets game. That game last night, I gotta tell you something. The Taylor Swift thing, and pardon me if you're a Swiftie, she's on my last freaking nerve. Every commercial, Taylor Swift. The concert, the movie, the her, the bing, the bada, the boom. Every time, the angles. I can't stand that. It's football, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't a pageant show.
No, you know what?
How are you gonna say that and then every other commercial is also Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes at the same time too?
Yeah.
Because she bought the spots.
Oh, she.
They actually play.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was their team. It was their game. It kind of should have been them.
It's
I
Sunday
want to see them
night.
on the commercials too.
Well, they're the world champions. You gotta flip your hat. But this thing about her coming along. So what I did was I went on TikTok. There was 100 TikToks of her and Kelsey doing the dance and all that. I sent them all to Freddie. I
Why?
text him.
Why, does he like her?
Can't stand her.
Oh.
He says, "Are you doing this on purpose?" I said, "What am I doing? I put you on automatic feed."
Yeah, but think about this great PR marketing and the Jets, your Jets, not so good since Aaron Rodgers got hurt. They had a very, very close game. It was tied into the third quarter. I mean,
Field goal hit the upright, came out. That's 3 points. 2 touchdowns that were, one was the pass was no good and the other one was too long. That's 17 points. The Jets would have won.
but against Kansas City, that's even more amazing.
Defensive holding calls.
Referees.
Oh, that, I'm sorry, was not a holding. They showed it over and over again. It wasn't a holding. You fight for the first 5 yards.
And the coach getting that penalty too.
Did you see that he ran down? I thought he was going to hit the ref.
He was pissed.
And then all that hype with Kansas City and Kelsey and Taylor Swift, and for the Jets still to be that close? You got to give
No.
your Jets some kudos,
Now, let
some
me ask
credit where
you-
credit
let me
is
ask
due,
you
I
a
got to tell you.
question. I've watched 60 years of football. 3rd down and 25. And he runs, 3rd down and 23.
Right?
And he runs for 25 yards. Have you ever, in the history of this game, ever seen anything like that? I've never seen that. How do you run for 25 yards and not
stop?
get hit? And not get hit?
If
There were some great plays, though, in that game.
2
That-
holding
that specific
calls that were not.
Yeah, that specific play for the 25-yard one. If you see in the bottom left-hand side,
Look at the holding.
There's 1 and 2.
that was not called.
Yeah.
Look at the holding. He was mugged.
Josh, how did you find that play?
It's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on Twitter. X, whatever.
It's
sorry.
there. The holding that Kansas City does at number 74 holds on every single play.
There's been a lot of controversial calls that have not been called against the Chiefs this year.
That's right. And yesterday
I wonder
was no
why.
different. That fake interference, because they intercepted the ball. If they had that play go through, the Jets would have had the ball. They would have had a shot to win the game. That fake holding against Sauce Gardner, if you're gonna pick somebody, pick Bree Hall, which isn't less of a guy, but Sauce Gardner, you're gonna pick on him. You know every camera's on him. So they showed it over from every angle. There was no hold.
But look how good they did. I mean, it was close. They could have won that game.
They should have. They
should've
could have.
won.
They should have. But at least I could hold my head up. I didn't think they were going to win. I just didn't want to be embarrassed. You know what it is to walk through Costco with a Jet jersey?
I don't look at Miami
how I
yesterday. You
felt
talk
on
about
Saturday.
embarrassing a Miami?
Why?
The Miami game yesterday?
Oh my god, yeah.
That was horrible.
It wasn't horrible. You're playing in Buffalo, number one.
But it's not snowing.
No?
No.
Not yet.
It wasn't like they're playing in January or February in the snow and the cold. There's no reason they should have lost that game.
I got to tell you, they came up with a solution to the fastest. You know, there used to be a team called the St. Louis Rams. They had these wideouts, like Miami has, Waddle and that Hill guy. And they used to be called the greatest show on turf. They were all 4:40 runners, 4 seconds in the 40. And you couldn't keep up with them. These guys would run down the field, forget about it. They would leave you in the dust, right? So they finally came up with a solution to Miami's offense, which was tremendous. You know the numbers that kid Tua has in the first 3 games has shattered every record in the NFL.
But I guess our defense wasn't so good, huh?
Now, why didn't they keep the offense on the field longer?
What do you think?
I couldn't tell you. But the thing I feel like
I can't tell you why.
that makes it kind of worse about what happened is because I think it was the week before when the Dolphins played and they almost broke the NFL record for most points scored. Yeah, and then they took it and like, wow, y'all were really, really good that week. And then you basically get blown out this week. It's like, how do you go from like really good to...
That's why I want to know what's going to happen next week, because either they blow...
They play the Giants.
You should ask Sarah
either they play the
Spherical.
Giants out, or
I think Miami beats the Giants. You know what happens is in the NFL, just like in football, they got so much film, so many different angles. So what they teach you is what is the guy in front of you going to do? What does he do normally? Is he bent to the left, bent to the right? Deion Sanders was talking about this. That's another thing that I watch. Deion Sanders used to say when it's a running play, the receivers stand a certain way. When it's a pass play, they put their left foot out or their right foot out and they stand a certain way. So if you see enough film, you see tendencies. The whole league is built on tendencies. If you ever watch the eyes of a running back, he will always tell you where the ball is going because he wants to know what he's running into. So he'll go like this and he'll look in this way. That's why they have the dark shields now. So you can't see their eyes. It's like playing cards. Look right there. Like, that was, who was that?
That's Josh Allen.
Josh Allen was running?
You got a touchdown at the end.
Did he?
Yeah.
Josh Allen, you got to make him make mistakes. It's the same thing that the Jets did to Mahomes. You got to force them to make mistakes. And with Tua, they sacked him 3 times and they forced him to make mistakes. When you put a lot of pressure on a quarterback, a lot, and he gets fancy feet, you know how that little penguin dances? When you can get him like that, you got a shot at winning the game because you're forcing errors.
I got to tell you, got to give it to the NFL, though, for marketing because they've changed their audience. They've grown, right? So now you've got your Swifties, whether you like them or not, and then you've got the animation, the Toy Story Fun Day Football.
That.
I got to see it yesterday morning. I even gave up my CBS Sunday morning show to find the game on Disney+.
You could have sent me highlights, you know.
I tried to.
Of your phone.
I tried to send you some of them, but Chuck kept talking, so I didn't want to send because he doesn't stop talking.
Oh, shut up.
I was like, could you stop talking so I could take a video? I'm like, he sees me taking a video when he starts talking. Stop talking. So I didn't send you videos because he talked through the whole
Was
thing.
it good? Was the animation good?
The animation was so cute, right?
My mind was blown, so I want to know, how did they put that together? Like the animated to make it sync like completely perfect.
It was pretty much in real time. It was a little delayed because I watched. I could see the score on my phone. It was like 0:10, but it was
like a minute delayed, I
0:07.
heard. Is that
It
true?
was so cool still.
It was about a minute delayed, but how they did that was amazing. Josh, you have any? I know you said AI, but that took a whole lot of work.
Yeah, no, it's AI for the tracking and all that.
But they had separate commentators, Freddie.
Yeah.
And then in between, the commercials were informative for the kids. Do you know how many players are on the
saw
offensive
that.
team? Right, I sent you some things.
I saw that
with the
on my
popsicle
phone.
sticks.
Yeah.
Do you know? So it was to bring the kids along. You know, with kids come moms, and with moms come a new female demographic into football. So whoever is working on the NFL marketing, they now have the kids and the animation and women. And plus you've got the Swifties.
And that kids were grown-ups, and they teach their children also.
Right.
Yeah, that was like the perfect way to get kids to like football.
Right?
Like, perfect.
Perfect.
way.
And then next thing you do is you start putting the commercials on for cereal and all this stuff. If this goes forward, all the marketing, you're going into Christmas toys. You'll see it's a perfect marketing demographic, and it's on Disney+.
The NFL is brilliant.
Brilliant. It's more than football. This is like a brilliant marketing. Look at this. Here it is side by side.
I love how much Toy Story is
Wow.
still relevant.
Wow, that looks pretty good.
And it was all in Andy's room. And when they put the ball down, it was the claw. Do you ever see Toy Story?
Yeah.
So the claw would put the toy down, and then it had the little squeaky guys, and they were the refs, and Slinky Dog was like the measure. It was so creative on how they did it. Did you see it all?
I did. I loved it. Loved it. I
So,
thought,
so you think they did a good job?
yeah, I liked the little alien dude with the camera. It said alien cam, but then it had another little alien actually on the field filming it all. I was like, it's an alien filming an alien.
It was so
I
cool.
loved it.
Right, because the camera was the alien cam, but the commentators they had two other people separately commenting on the plays, which meant, see that I don't know how they did that, which meant someone was watching the cartoon version in real time and talking about Slinky Dog and talking about the aliens.
Like they're ESPN like commentators, so they would like give like football knowledge, and they'll be like, "All right, checking back in with the aliens." Like they're watching the actual cartoon.
Yep.
Just to like
Look at
see
this,
what they're
Freddie.
doing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
But they're really talking about the game that they're watching.
Right.
It wasn't the same commentators from the real game. These were separate, talking about the Toy Story side of it.
Most probably because of the cartoon part, children were watching, so they don't know the names of the people who are playing, and they know the names of the Toy Story characters, and they use that. Like,
So I wonder if we can find an interview on the commentators, like how they did that, because that meant they're watching the animation and they're calling the game based on the animation that they're watching.
While they're being animated as well.
That's true, while they were being animated.
It's
True.
on YouTube.
The game is?
Yeah,
The whole thing?
yeah. Oh no, I think they're only doing the highlights.
It's very cool.
Live too.
And there's the side by side. And how they did it in Andy's room is amazing. But here, everyone's watching. I'm texting the kids, and everyone's watching it.
They
Is that
show
how
the
you-
green room.
Oh, so it's all in the green screen, in the green room there. That's pretty cool. So this is how they did it. Remember Evel Knievel? Anyway, we digress because Freddie's
is-
now going to watch the game
This
on
is
his phone.
hilarious.
Right? It's fantastic how they did it.
I think we have to down. We have to, look, and they had that thing that picks up puppets and stuff.
Right, the claw puts the ball down.
The claw puts the ball down. Gotcha. Oh, this is hilarious.
You know, and then they ask all the players who your favorite Toy Story character is. Like,
their favorite food and all that.
right? It changed. You
Who's-
normally watch
oh,
football?
And
Yeah.
the dog is the
Slinky
measure.
dog.
The Slinky Dog
Yep.
measures the first down.
Right.
Oh, this is hilarious.
It's like the thought that went in it.
It's good stuff.
And this is all done by Pixar, I'm assuming, because it was on Disney Plus.
321,000 people watched it.
and the Toy Story is Pixar's. So.
It's pretty remarkable.
I love it. Good stuff.
Anyway, you
I
went to
can
see
see-
Rochelle over the weekend. You saw. I went to
Yes.
Movies of Del Rey.
Yes, I went to see something in Venice, which is which one? Yeah, Haunting in Venice. Do you know that Venice is on the water?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I did.
There's a lot of water in Venice.
Yeah.
It must smell in Venice.
Oh, probably. Isn't it like pretty small too compared to like other cities in Italy?
Yeah, it's like layers and layers of different city parts, but it must stink there.
From fish?
Yeah, fish and what? Tussiness.
I don't know. What?
You know, fish. I don't like it. I saw that movie. I was
God,
like,
you make me so like squirmy in my seat. Is all I could
well, go
say.
see the movie. You guess
eat
what?
fish?
What?
Do you like to eat fish?
Yeah, but I don't like to live in it. Like, they live in it. They live in it. They take a shower in it. Where does the sewer go? When you flush a toilet, where's it go?
Every drain leads to the ocean.
So, speaking of sewer, did you see the Larry David commercial from the Super Bowl from FTX? So apparently there's a class action lawsuit
Why?
because Larry David, who apparently in this commercial, your
I
son
remember
actually
Larry
sent it
David.
to us, said, don't buy this, don't buy the Bitcoin, the crypto, don't do this, don't do
the
this.
crypto.
But it was for crypto. He's now being sued along with Tom Brady and all these other people that put these commercials together in a class action lawsuit that encouraged people to end up buying the
Yes,
FTX,
I
which
heard
then, of
about
course, plummeted. But the commercial, Gio sent it to us on TikTok. It's funny.
Yeah, how are you gonna sue someone that's just an actor for the commercial?
Because their likeness promoted.
Exactly. They did it because there was Larry David.
Well, Larry David, it was Tom Brady, it was a slew of, it was all these football players promoting this FTX, and the guy just went, it was all over 60 Minutes last
That's the guy
night.
that's in California. They don't know what to do with
No,
him.
he's in New York, actually.
I thought he was in house jail in his mother's house in California.
I think he's in Brooklyn or something.
Is
I
he
don't
in
know.
jail?
I think he's on house arrest.
Him and Donald Trump soon will have a jail cell together.
This guy's young. He's like 32 years old, and he made billions and billions, and he lost billions of this idea. And his autobiography is coming out tomorrow, and I think the hearing is tomorrow as well. It was all over 60 Minutes, but I think this guy has some sort of Asperger's. He's got something going on. If you look at him and you watch this interview, he has a brilliant mind, and there was this tangible, intangible product that he was promoting, and then it just, the naysayers come in and they blew it out of the water.
How do you feel about this thing with Trump that he said, he told the world he was worth all these billions and he wasn't? And he got all these bank loans because everybody believed him. He got an airline after his name. And everybody put a lot of money into him because they thought that he was worth all this money. So he's in court today facing a civil lawsuit. They want $256 million just in damages without punitive. Punitive is next.
So here's what I don't understand. Trump, Larry David, Taylor Swift. What makes them above everybody else? I can't say better than because I don't think they're better than. In visibility wise, to make all this money, to have all this power, to get this prestige, that people believe them, and then it starts making you feel less about yourself because you're not of that caliber.
No, that's
Because
what
they've
do we
been
do?
around for 20 years.
Well,
Think
why
about
you-
it.
why
Like
lesser of
Tom
yourself?
Brady and Taylor Swift have been around a long time with their success. So I feel like
you
their
want to be
success.
successful.
Yeah, but I feel like their success has like seen many generations. So I feel like a lot of people are just seeing that.
So if Tom Brady told you to buy this wine because this is what he drinks, would you buy it?
No.
If Taylor Swift told you to buy this,
Well, look at all the marketing.
Yeah, I think it's just with the way the media the way the media talks, or the way the media brings out their information.
That too.
But then they all also have PR teams, so their teams are definitely more than likely telling them, like, oh, post this, word this, like this, we go out, like, act this way, like, hold yourself, like, X, Y, and Z in this manner, and then go out. So, like, they get picked up because of their talent, but then they also know how to make people like them and keep them interested, too.
well, look at Toy
And
Story.
also, like, not for our age, but when the girl sees something, if she's in 12, 13, or like that age, and sees something that Taylor Swift buys, she will immediately buy.
Yeah, she becomes influenced.
Yeah, because the 12-year-old girl can't think for herself, so whatever becomes popular with millions of other people, that's what she's going to follow.
Yeah.
So if they keep popularizing just this one Taylor Swift girl because they don't want to spend money on someone else, it's just going to be just her everywhere.
Well, you're right. That's why they picked the 9:30 game in Europe to do this Toy Story, because I remember growing up, I used to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, not to go to school, but to see
On a
the
Sunday
toys.
morning. But then you think about now the class action lawsuit against all these actors that promoted FTX or didn't, right? Larry David was like, don't buy it, but yet people bought it, but he's still being sued as part of this lawsuit. Tara Lipinski during COVID, the world figure skater champion, has this idea with her husband who's a TV producer. Oh, let's make this whole documentary on what it's like to be an Olympian and the judging that goes on. She's like, oh, so we pitched it to Netflix and they took it. It's because of who she is. If we pitched anything to Netflix, we wouldn't even be able to get it to the stage of Netflix to pitching without going through a lot of hurdles.
That's right. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
And they talk about it like, oh, we pitched it and now we're doing this, and it's like a pinch me moment. But you know what? They're very fortunate that they know the who's who to be able to do these things. So I don't understand where the disparity, like the haves have, and there's like this greater divide, I think.
But they have to be held to a higher accountability too. When you go to Home Depot, do you ever see those ladders? It's one ladder and it turns into three. Like you can unlock it and it goes up to 10 feet high, 12 feet high. I know the creator of that ladder. He was my accountant's wife in New York City. And he took me down memory lane when he started this ladder. And the ladder closed and took off a finger to a guy who was working. And the lawsuit started. And then from one lawsuit, it turned into hundreds because apparently the ladder didn't have a locking mechanism to stop it from doing that, and stupid people were using it incorrectly and they were losing their fingers, right? So he sold it to somebody else who sold it to Home Depot. And they put a locking mechanism so they couldn't happen. He made some royalties. But he got that product approved because he took it to the guys who made this old house. Because of that.
Avila.
Those guys. And that's how he got it approved. Yet the damn thing would take your fingers off. Right? So sometimes it's timing, it's who you know.
So I feel like we're that one door opening away from being able to do these things. We just need that one door to open to get it,
Well, you
to get us there.
That's a big door.
I feel like being a Nepo baby helps too. So like a Nepo baby, it's like when you're born into money. Or like you're born like to someone famous, like Haley Baldwin, any of the Kardashians, they're all Nepo babies because they were born with money. That is easiest, like from the get-go, the biggest advantage because you don't have to really go make a way for yourself. You can just kind of feed off of like, what already has it. So you just really have to go apply yourself. Be like, hey, like the Kardashians, I'm Kim Kardashian, my like X, Y, and Z, and like, oh my gosh, perfect.
Anything you want, right?
Exactly.
It's about money, but it's about your friends. If you have money, you have friends with money also. Like if you
Who you
are
associate
poor,
with.
Yeah.
If you're poor, you have poor friends. If you have money, you have many friends.
Yeah.
Well, look what you were able to do. To bring in that producer, to bring in Roy, we have a call with today because you reached out to him because you went to high school, not with him, but you went to the same high school.
Yes, I'm high
I mean, and look at what he's accomplished in life. It's just remarkable.
Yeah, but it also depends. I grew up in East Tremont and J-Lo was there. She never picked up the phone when I called her.
Yeah, have you tried?
Of course.
You tried calling J-Lo?
It's also
Yeah.
where you're from too. Ariana Grande was born here and was
She
raised
was in
here.
this building. Her
Really?
mother owned this building. She was
Oh.
here is where she started.
Wow. Shoot.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. And Kendra also started where? They were together in here.
Wow.
This is where they learned how to sing.
Nepo babies. That's a new term. I used to call it the lucky sperm bank.
I like that one.
But Nepo babies is like nepotism babies. That's
Well,
interesting.
that's right. She had all
Sperm
this.
bank.
She had all these opportunities to help her sing and be successful. Not everyone has that. You know.
You know, the funny thing is to be successful, you have to continue constantly, good, better, and different, to keep doing it. A lot of people quit. You know, a lot of people quit trying because they feel that they're a failure, or somebody else said they're a failure, so they stop. You gotta keep fighting. Man,
I
there
want
are no
Megan to keep
overnight
singing.
stories.
I really want Megan to keep singing, but like.
But she's her own worst enemy. Megan's gotta want to sing. Megan has got to
She
want to
chooses
sing.
work first. You know. Like.
I'm not saying that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I know people. I know a kid. You know him too. They played baseball for the Philadelphia Phillies for a little bit, cup of coffee. And this kid played Little League for me. And he blew out his arm. He had Tommy John surgery. You can show me the scars. And he played every day. He went to Australia, played there. Then he went to Taiwan, he played there. Came back to the States, played here. He played all year round for 5 years before he even got a sniff in the minor leagues. You know how hard it is to play minor league baseball? You're looking for a job, right? Oh, by the way, if you have a job to offer, let us know. Imagine having a family with kids and playing sports where they pay you maybe $20,000 a year. Man, think about that. They will test your will. How bad do you want it?
It's about passion.
Passion? True.
How bad do you want anything? How bad do you want to be successful? And let's break it down. What are you willing to do? And then what are you willing to do consistently? Because there are going to be days, good days and bad days. Are you willing to continue to go?
And then what do you want? I know you all tell me you wanted something in production. Does it matter what it is?
Well, the toilets need to be clean too in the production house. Do you want that? I mean, think about it. And it's funny.
You could
let me
probably
tell
get paid good money to like clean the really
you're going to
famous
make $12
productions.
an hour.
Yeah, but you never know who you're going to meet on the way up.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
you
the
never
same
know.
toilet brush you're going to meet on the way down. Listen, let me tell you. And the funny thing is that when you do this kind of work and people are working 9 to 5s and you're hustling and then you start to grow and become what I call a somebody, and your 9 to 5 friends say, you ain't gonna amount to nothing.
I gotta tell you, I have a little pet peeve with that somebody thing you do. Can I be honest?
Why?
Because I think everybody's a somebody.
Okay. Well,
So when you say they're a somebody, I disagree with you.
by a somebody, it's the same
I know what you
example
mean.
meant that you get to put in
But
on
I think
Netflix.
everyone here is a somebody. Your somebodies are those that have more, they're more elite than somebodies.
No, we're
Can
trying
we change
to
the
become...
verbiage?
No. No. You're trying to be that somebody. You want to be, hey, I'm that man. You see that whole thing they're doing now, Josh, in football? I'm the man. I'm that man. You want to be that man. I don't know why they use the word man.
They say I'm that guy.
Was that what it is?
Yeah, they say I'm that guy.
Thank you, Casey.
I am him.
I am him. There you go.
Ah,
Yeah,
there
that
you
too.
go. We're
That's
gonna
the
get
one. That's the one. They got a trophy now. I am him. And the funny thing is, you want to be the him. You want the ball, but this is going back since I was a kid
Have
watching.
you seen the commercial for hymns?
Yeah, this is sex drugs.
They've got all kinds of hymns things. They've had
Oh,
hers
no,
things
this
too.
is sex stuff.
These the hymns are?
Yeah, they're trying to replace Cialis.
Cialis. But think about the marketing of that, the hymns.
Don't diverse. Let's stay here.
On the somebody.
Your friends will always tell you that what you do doesn't amount to work. What do you mean you go in there, you're creative, and you do a production, you sell a commercial, you get paid? Who? That isn't work. It's not, no. Work is what I do. I sit behind the desk and I go, how can I help you? No! How can I help you? No! That's work.
The hymns. And then there's the hers.
Is it hers?
There's the hers. The hers and the hymns.
Those are just mint candies.
No, the her. Well, think about it kind of in life, right? You've got the hymns and the hers and all the stuff that it entails. We're going to do that segment, right, on what we all use in the morning to get out. I think
Yeah.
Grace is going to put that together.
Now let that on the vine.
But the hers want their power and their equality as much as the hymns have. The
You
hers
can have
want
it
it,
all.
but yet when the hers climb the ladder, they're not always so nice to the other hers.
That's not true.
100%. You guys think that women are as nice to each other as men are to each other in the workplace?
Oh,
No. Girls are mean.
girls are mean
We're
to each other.
awful. We're
No,
brutal
'cause
creatures
What's
sometimes.
so crazy,
Right?
I live with a boy for the first time, like besides my dad.
So
That
much
makes
better,
sense.
right?
Like, there's not many problems. There are no problems. There are no problems.
Men are pretty simple.
Like, because I lived with literally four other girls last year because a girl didn't get housing, so she lived on my couch all last semester, and so we just all did not get along.
You compete with one another over your
No,
looks.
the thing is like they all hated me, so I just stayed in my room.
Amazon's like, yep, pretty much.
Literally.
You know, people will beat you down psychologically, and you're giving into it. You're feeding their treating you that way.
And I just like
Guys don't do that.
I know, and that's why I like my living situation so much now. It seems more.
What's
it's
your
like,
living situation? You with guys?
no, I live with my roommate who was my roommate last year and her boyfriend. So like they live together in their room.
Until they break up.
They won't. They won't. I've never seen them fight a day in my life. Like whenever they do fight, like it's nothing serious. Like they'll just bicker
Just
and they'll
remember,
get over
your
it in 2
world
seconds.
is your world. All the outside noise is not your world. I used to tell people that outside noise don't pay my rent. You can have all the opinions of me you want, but the only one that counts is the one I'm going to ask you for. I don't get this.
They have a way though. But yeah, women on the way up to each other. Been watching the morning show. Anyone seen the morning show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon? I gotta tell you,
Why? What's wrong with it?
the morning show business, TV business, as they portray it, is freaking ruthless to each other, corporate.
You see them, there's
Ruthless.
somebody, those two. You think they've been nice? You think they didn't step on somebody's toes or cut somebody's throat? Really?
I do not know.
Please.
What do you think, Royce?
I watched that show. I also watched, there's a same kind of show. It's Bird Flies in Netflix.
Same thing?
Same thing.
Ruthless business, the way they portray it, is all I can tell
So
you.
would you stop being on a successful show because you have to be ruthless?
You should watch the morning show.
But would you not take a morning show because you have to be ruthless? Would you do it?
I would.
You would do it or you would stop doing it?
I would do it, but it
And
depends.
become ruthless? You would have to be ruthless.
Here's how I think of it. Here's unpopular opinion. I feel like women will get called ruthless when they're really not, but men won't get called it, even if they are. it's like a woman gets called like a ball buster. Like you wouldn't call another dude that because they're a man.
Why?
Women take
Society.
criticism worse than men do.
Women what?
Like, take criticism worse. Like, I feel like whenever I get criticized by something, I'll think about it for days. But, like, I feel like a guy would just brush it off his shoulders.
Don't you see that what you're doing is you're giving somebody the opportunity to get in your head?
I know, but I can't help it.
I don't know if women take criticism worse. I think it's just in our society, women have to strive for perfection.
Yeah.
That's their only way to pass by as being equal to man.
But according to who?
Right. I
To
think we do it.
society.
We self-inflict that perfection.
I feel like women
You
as
don't
a
ask
whole
me to be
wanna
perfect.
better
You don't
than
ask
men.
them to be
Just
perfect.
How can you ask anybody to be perfect? That's just
But yeah, we
ridiculous.
strive for our own inner perfection. But it's not because you, as a man, asks for perfection.
The more production you do, the more perfect you want it to be. But that's true of any job.
But
if you're gonna fly a ship to NASA, you want to be perfect, because if you don't, boof.
Yeah.
And that's the end of life. So you want to be perfect. But that doesn't have anything to do with you as a person. It has nothing to do with you as a person.
But then your job starts to define who you are.
No.
Except
no,
on the
no,
Hallmark
stop,
Channel.
stop,
If you watch
stop.
the Hallmark Channel, not so much. It's all about love.
Stop. Please stop. Don't do that. Don't let your work define you. Don't do that. You are who you are. A job is a job.
But you don't think men notoriously,
Notoriously.
I'm an architect, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor,
That's what you hear.
I'm a businessman,
That's
I'm
what you hear.
defines who they are?
That's what you hear. If a man is trying to impress a female, he's gonna lay some bombs down. I'm an architect. Don't you see Seinfeld? Well, he's always an architect. Yeah, an architect. That freaking guy's always unemployed. How is it that the richest show on and he's always unemployed? Always. It's just laying bombs to see about the things you retain. You retain, I'm a lawyer. I'm an architect. I'm a microsurgeon. Meanwhile, I work at McDonald's.
By the way, minimum wage went up in Florida.
Yesterday.
Just saying, $12 an hour now.
Wow. Woohoo!
$12 an hour.
But the funny thing is that the rent went up 4 times.
And that too. All right, you ready to wrap this up? We got a Zoom call. We got a meeting at a minute ago, actually right now.
Do not let your job define you.
It's an interesting
I need a
concept.
job.
You need a job?
Yes.
You define your job.
But then there's a difference, and we can talk about it in the midday, job versus career. Like your job, busing, may not define you.
Not just busing, just
But
like working at a restaurant
Josh's
right now,
career
just
as an
to get it.
animator might be more defining to him. So job
Or
versus
maybe
career.
Josh the animator defines his work. Maybe, just maybe, you could look at this a different way. Just maybe.
All right, have a good morning, everyone. We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't